Hey guys, this is your lesson for 4.3, writing equations in point slope form. Let's start off with a bell ringer. We need to write an equation of a line that passes through each pair of points. So we were given the points 6, -2, and 3, 4. Now remember, we write the equations of our lines in y equals mx plus b form. So we need to know the slope and our y-intercept. That's what we need to find. So the first thing we need to do is find the slope of the line that contains those points. So we'll do that by using our formula m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'll substitute the points that I have. 4 minus -2 over 3 minus 6. 4 minus -2 is the same thing as 4 plus 2, so that gives me 6 over -3, which is the same thing as -2. So my slope is -2. So right now, I have the equation y equals -2x plus b. So I still need to find b, and I'm going to use one of my points to do that. The x and y values are one of my points. I'm going to use the point 3, 4. So I know I have 4 is equal to -2 times 3 plus b. And when I solve this equation, it'll give me my b value. -2 times 3 is -6. Add 6 to both sides, and I'll get b is equal to 10. So my final equation is y equals -2x plus 10. So that is writing an equation that goes through 2 points, and that's writing it in slope-intercept form. We're going to look at today another way to write an equation when given 2 points. So let's start by finding the slope of the line that passes through the points y1, x1, and xy. So to do that, I'm going to use my slope formula again. My second minus the first for my y's, and the second minus the first for my x's. So my slope, m, is going to be equal to y minus y1 over x minus x1. So that's the slope of the line that passes through these 2 points. Now let's solve this equation for y minus y1. So that's what we want to get alone. So I want to get this numerator right here alone. So if I have the equation m equals y minus y1 over x minus x1, and I'm trying to get my numerator alone, that means I have to undo the division of x minus x1. Well, to undo division, I multiply. So I need to multiply both sides of my equation by x minus x1. The x minus x1s on the right side will cancel out. So that will leave my y minus y1 alone, and it'll be equal to my slope m times x minus x1. And because, ladies and gentlemen, this equation has 2 real points, the x1, y1, that's an actual point, and then a general point of x, y, I can use this as an equation for a line. And this is what we call the point slope form equation of a line. So the point slope form, the linear equation y minus y1 equal to our slope m times x minus x1. So that equation is written in point slope form, where x1, y1 is a given point in the non-vertical line, and m is the slope of the line. So this is useful, ladies and gentlemen, whenever we have equations, we have lines that don't have y-intercepts that are really clear to see. So for example, looking at the graph I have below, that y-intercept right there, that's really, really hard to see. I don't know what that is. I mean, it could be 2/3, it could be 3/4, it could be a bunch of different things. But I really don't know what it is. So that's why it's good to use this point slope form. So for the point slope form, I need a slope, m, and I need a point, x1, y1. So that's what I need to fill in for that. Well, to find my slope, I can just find my rise over my run. So starting at this point, I will rise 1, and I will run 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, so a positive 4. So my slope is 1/4. And I need a point on that line, and if I look at this point right here, that point is to -3. So if I use that point in the slope for my equation, that'll give me the equation on the line. So I will use y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I know that y1 is -3, so that gives me y minus -3 equal to the slope 1/4 times x minus x1, and x1 is 2, so minus 2. Just doing a little simplifying, I can take this negative times a negative here, make it a positive, so I have y plus 3 equals 1/4 x minus 2. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is an equation of a line. Now, it's really easy to go from a point slope form equation right to a slope intercept equation. It's really easy to do that. So if we're looking at the equation we just had, I can take this, I can put it into slope intercept by solving for y. So the first thing I need to do is simplify my right side. So I'll take this 1/4 and distribute it to the x and to the -3. So I'll have y plus 2 equal to 1/4 x, and 1/4 times -3 is -3/4. Now I just need to get y alone. I will do that by subtracting 2 from both sides of my equation. Sorry again, guys. Subtract 2 from both sides of my equation. 2's on the left cancel out. And since -2 is the same thing as -8/4, I will have y is equal to 1/4 x minus 11/4, because -3/4 minus 2 is -11/4. So my equation, 1/4 x minus 11/4, is the same as the original point slope form. So both of these are acceptable ways, and they both rear their head at certain situations. And they're easier in certain situations. So right now, let's write the equation on a line that passes through the given points in point slope form. And then we're going to take that and we're going to convert it into slope intercept form. So I have the point 0, 3 and -3, -1. The first thing I need to do, regardless of what equation I'm going to use, the first thing I need to do is I need to find my slope. So I'll find the slope of the line between those 2 points. So my slope m is going to be equal to y2, in this case -1, minus y1, which will be 3, over -3 minus 0. -1 minus 3 is -4. -3 minus 0 is -3. So I get -4 over -3, which is the same thing as 4 over 3. So that is my slope. Now, I want to use my point slope form first, which is y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to use one of my points in my slope. Now, looking at my 2 points, the 0, -3, and -3, -1, I have to pick the one I think is going to be easiest to use. Well, for me, it's pretty obvious since the point 0,3 has a 0 in it. That's what I want to use. So I'm going to substitute that point 0,3 and my slope into my point slope equation. So I'll have y minus y1, since we're using 0,3, it's going to be y minus 3, equal to my slope, 4/3, times x minus x1, so x minus 0. Do a little bit of simplifying here. Y minus 3 is equal to 4/3 times x. So that is my point slope form. Now, this is really easy to convert to slope intercept. Just got to solve for y. So y minus 3 is equal to 4/3 x. Just add 3 to both sides. And I get my equation y equals 4/3 x plus 3. So that will be my final answer. So here we need to write the equation in point slope form for the line containing side TU of this quadrilateral. So I am looking at the side TU. So I'm looking at this side right here. This is the side I'm looking at, side TU. Now the reason why we want to use point slope form in this situation is because if you look at our graph, I have no idea where my y-intercept is. No clue where that is. So I can't obviously pick it out right away. So I want to use my point slope. For that, I need to know a point, M. So I have to find my rise or run for the line TU. So starting at point U, I'm going to rise 3, run 3. So my slope is equal to 3/3, or just 1. So my slope is 1. And I'm going to pick the point U, and the point U is 2, 3. I'm sorry, it's not 2, 3, it's 3, 2. Got them mixed up there. It is 3. Wow, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2. Point U is 4, 2. Sorry, guys. So I have my point, my slope. I can write point slope form. So I have y minus y1 equal to m times the quantity of x minus x1. Just substitute in. So I have y minus 2 equal to my slope 1 times x minus 4. So there's my equation in point slope form. Next, the figure shows trapezoid ABCD with the bases side AB and side CD as bases. So we need to write the equation in point slope form for the line containing BC. So I'm looking at this line right here. This is what I want to find. I'm looking for the point slope form of that line there. So for that, again, I need a slope M and a point. So let's find M first. Since I'm looking at this line, I'm going to start at point B. I need to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go down 5, so that's a -5. I need to run 1, 2. I ran 2. So my slope is -5 over 2. And a quick check, look and see if my line is going downhill. It is going downhill from left to right, so my slope's negative. I'm good to go. Now I need to use a point. I want to use the point, let's use 4, 3, since we have positive numbers. So I'm going to use point B here. So 4, 3 is the point I'm using. I'm going to use y minus y1 equals to m times the quantity of x minus x1 again. Substitute in my points. So I have y minus 3 equal to -5 over 2 times x minus x1, so minus 4. So there's my equation. Here are a couple more problems to help us get better with this. So what I want you to do, I want you to try this by yourself. So pause the video, give it a take, give it a little try yourself. I want you to write it in point slope form first, then slope intercept. So pause the video and try this by yourselves. I said pause the video. Quit waiting for me to write it down. Pause the video. So here are the solutions for all you slackers that didn't pause the video. And for those of you that did pause it and worked out, good job. You're my favorites. But here are the solutions. Once you're done checking these over, go ahead and check out the homework on the board. You can get started on that. It will be due tomorrow in class. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Take it easy.